There are those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
Can we stop for ice cream, Bart? Can we start for ice cream? Oh, it's the Max! Ho 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 ho! The Portland Light Rail System, the Max, and that's what it actually looks like. How sweet! So end of May, June, July, and now we're into August, so...
That was the longest night of my life.
Hello, I'm Simulated Irk, and welcome back to Simulated Irk American Truck Simulator. Well, it's sort of kind of not American Truck Simulator at the moment. We're actually in Canada. We'll be going from Halifax, Nova Scotia to Fort Simpson in the Northwest Territories. We have a massive job that we have to do. Let me try and pull up the world map because it's a massive job. Come here, mousy. Here we go. World map. We are leaving from Halifax and we are going up. Oh, we don't want to do that. $3,685 miles, 74 hours trip time. We'll be going through Montreal, near Ottawa. We'll be going through quite a large area, Thunder Bay, amongst others. And we'll be going a very, very long distance. So let's get into it. We're not going to complete it all on this particular episode. We had an interesting incident at the end of the previous episode. There's our load. We had to start at the service centre because for one reason or another, it put us in the middle of a shed that basically wrecked our load. So let's get into the truck, turn it on.
There are those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
Say hello to Mr. Morgan Freeman. We'll put our... Whoops, I don't think we have a beacon. Alright, so let's get going. A long trip ahead of us. It's Saturday, 10:30 in the morning. We are expected, if we were able to drive all the way through, we'd be expected Tuesday lunchtime, 74 hours and 26 minutes driving time, 3,685 miles. That won't be happening. We're expected Saturday morning through to Saturday lunchtime. That's when we're basically expected at this stage. 169 hours in our job window and 14 hours of rest time. So let's get into it. That's what we're looking at. It's going to be a massive drive in our Volvo.
1 mile. Turn left. Turn left.
So this episode will be entirely in Canada. There actually wasn't many options in relation to where we were actually going, or where we're actually located rather, from Halifax, because what I like to do, we finished the last load in Halifax, and so that's where I like to start the next one. So there weren't that many options. There was one option that basically took us back to Nevada. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to come back via Canada. Basically go from coast to coast in Canada and then end up on the west coast. So effectively with our window, it'll basically take us a week to get there. With all of our rest stops and everything, 74 hours of driving time, 3,700 miles basically, plus restops and filling and all that sort of stuff. We've got, according to the dash, 430 miles until empty. So we'll just keep on driving as far as we can. And if we need to rest by that point, well, we need to rest. So we're leaving Halifax now. Bye, Halifax. Nice knowing you. Now, this part of the map is, again, also a mod from the base American Truck Simulator. The mod is called Canadream.
Continue straight.
And it basically allows you to drive in Canada. So just like the American map mods, including coast to coast that we used last time in the last episode, there are some areas of the map.
And then exit right.
There are some areas of the map where the scenery is fairly basic. And a lot of these places I haven't been to, so I can't judge. I can't judge for how authentic they are. But that was a nice merge. I do like to drive the different trucks. I just don't like owning the one truck and just driving that exclusively. So now I'm driving a Volvo. So on the navigation, it says that the speed limit is 69 miles an hour. Basically works out to 110 kilometers an hour. On a lot of US and on a lot of North American vehicles, I should say, they'll actually have both units of measurement on, because I do know that vehicles do cross the border fairly easy. America using miles per hour, and Canada and most of the rest of the world using kilometers per hour. So if you have a look at the dash in front of you, on the right hand side, the white numbers are miles per hour, and the yellow numbers, which are a little harder to see, that's kilometers per hour. So we've got 3/4 of a tank of fuel, so plenty of diesel, and we'll just keep pointing the truck west basically, and end up in the Northwest Territories. Now I wonder, it'll probably be like the rest of American Truck Simulator, where it's where it's not winter.
Keep right.
Now it's actually saying that the highway is closed, so we need to take a detour, which is what we'll be doing now.
Exit right.
Interesting, saying that the highway is closed and all those cars have just gone up there. So not the widest road, so we're just going to take it a little bit easy through here. Is this one of these pointless detours? No, no, we go straight, we go straight. Alright. Just me and the Canadian open road. I felt like I passed these service stations already on the way to Halifax. Now, either we took a wrong turn, which I doubt, or it's routing us a really stupid way. Or that's just a generic service station that, you know, it might be totally different to the one we passed before, but it sort of looks the same and looks like the same stretch of road. We're behind a bus.
Continue straight.
We're entering New Brunswick. So we could actually be heading in the opposite direction of the direction that we headed before. Can't really tell at the moment, but before we did enter New Brunswick and then into Nova Scotia before, so we could even be heading somewhat towards the US-Canada border. I'm not expecting to go down that far.
In 0.1 miles, turn right. Turn right.
See if Canadian mergers are any better than American mergers. They tend not to give you a lot of time to merge in American Truck Sim. In this recording batch, I'll also be recording more episodes of Japan Truck Sim. If that works, there was an update to Euro Truck Sim, which is the base map for the Project Japan mod. So hopefully that will work nicely for me. Are we going to see any Mulsey? Probably going to be long sections of this one lane in either direction. So that car will try and overtake that truck. I'm not going to just yet. I'll just stay behind him for a little bit, see how he's going. I don't know these roads, so I don't know when, pardon me, the next exit is. Still got plenty of fuel, plenty of time, so I'll just hang behind him and be interesting to see if this sort of one lane either direction continues. Sometimes they put in overtaking lanes every so often. I'm quite happy sitting behind this guy for the moment. You know, when you're driving for this amount of time, it's not as if, you know, an extra couple of minutes sitting behind someone doing 60 miles an hour instead of 70 miles an hour is not going to make that much difference. Oops, pay attention, my dude.
In 0.1 miles, turn left. Turn left.
Nothing doing. Let's go. So the plan is we'll drive as long, pardon me, we'll drive as long as we can tonight. Still got three quarters of a tank of fuel, according to the gauge in front of me. the gauge at the top of the screen would indicate they got like quarter full. Oh, hang on, or am I looking at? I'm looking at the wrong gauge. The fuel is actually on the right hand side, so that's right. I must have been looking at something else there on the left. No, I've only got about a quarter of a tank. The one on the top is right.
In 0.1 miles, turn right.
So if we see a
Turn right.
if we see a station, we should pull in and get some fuel. They don't often give you a full tank when you're leaving. You know, if it's not the truck that you drove in, which in quick job mode it wouldn't be, they don't necessarily give you a full tank. So my plan of going all the way through to a rest stop but then just refueling and resting at the same time, it's probably not going to work. Still got plenty of fuel for the moment. So we're on Highway 108. We're getting down to the red zone in fuel, so we need to, when we say fuel station, we need to stop. I don't see a lot of, you're running out of fuel, you should find a filling station. I was just saying exactly that. You might get to see what you missed on the episode that didn't work well, that I didn't release. Haven't seen a lot of anything. Just trees and trees. The occasional truck, but mainly trees. There's a school bus. Don't know what a school bus would be running around on a Saturday afternoon at 4:40 p.m, but that's a school bus. There's not as if there's like multiple options that will give you
Keep right. And then exit right.
it's not as if there's hundreds of options heading towards Grand Falls. Alrighty.
Exit right. Continue straight.
Because I don't want to go the wrong way for not to be a service station down there.
Continue straight.
Banana, wow, wow. Here's a service station. Good. Alrighty. $674 and 140 gallons of fuel later. And here we are. And that just looks wrong. So our next rest stop is in 6 hours. Maximum of 6 hours. Still got 162 hours in the window. Not expected until sometime Saturday morning. It's only Saturday afternoon the previous week now, so got a lot of work to do. So that's our funky load. Let's get back in the truck and let's continue to drive. We might as well take advantage of now the full fuel tank and also the good lighting. You know, it's still daylight, still plenty of daylight. 3,300 miles, 66 and a quarter hours of driving remaining. We won't be doing all of that this episode, needless to say. You can bypass the way station. Oh, good. What we should do, just to see what happens, because I forget what happens, if you get called into the way station and then you don't stop, I want to see what happens. But that won't be on this occasion because we didn't need to stop. Ah, traffic jam. Trucks merging, etc. up ahead. Impatient car driver just trying to get around that that truck with the container on the back. Looks like a container from here. There goes another one. So 100 kilometres an hour now is the speed limit, so it drops it back to 62 miles an hour. We'll just cruise behind this bike. We're in no great rush. It's not as if our deadline's rapidly approaching or anything. Now, because of all the rest stops, it says at the top of the screen that if we were to drive all the way through from early Saturday evening, which is what it is now, if we were to drive the whole way, we'd arrive at lunchtime on Tuesday. But because of rest stops, etc., we're not expected until Saturday. But that's over the road trucking, as they call it in America. There's a bus coming the other way. We'll just cruise behind this guy for a bit.
In 0.1 miles, turn left.
We're heading towards Quebec now.
Turn left.
Nothing coming that way. We can get out, good. Continue to scan. We'll move over towards the right lane. I know I've got a heap of cars behind me which should start to pass me shortly. One thing I haven't seen a lot of, because we've been mainly driving on highways and freeways, haven't seen many trains lately. And certainly haven't seen level crossings. Should start hanging back from this bike. Oh, we're starting to drive into towards the afternoon sun now. Alright, we'll pull out. We'll go around this guy. He's well and truly my rearview mirror, so we can come back across. This would be the really hard bit. It's coming up to sunset. You've been driving since 10:30. We've only really made the one stop for fuel, which in reality you'd probably stop there and have something to eat at the same time. Decent sized hill coming up. So I just want to drive as far as I can in the daylight, and then we'll find a rest area and pull over. Have a bit of a shape. Oh, that hill really affected us. It's really dropped our speed. Yes, sun really down at almost 9 PM. Yep, it's summer. It's always summer. The American Truck Simulator.
Continue straight.
So we're heading towards Montreal. So we'll just continue heading in the direction that we need to head. I can bypass the way station, probably closed. Although you'd think this would be the perfect, time to have the way stations open, because a lot of trucks go through at night. Still 3,100 miles to go. 62 hours of driving remaining. Just hang back a bit now. Now that the sun's gone down, certainly starting to think about sleep and where to sleep. Right on cue. I can see some lights off in the distance. Hopefully there's one on my side. Yeah, it looks like there's one on my side as well. That works out very well. So even though we've only used about a quarter of a tank since the last time we filled up, I will fill up again. And then in the morning when we start again, we can start on a full tank. Yep. Okay, I get the message. Well, not many people sleeping there tonight, so that's good for us. Oh, they've even got little thingies that you can connect to your truck. Must be a Canadian thing because of how cold it can get. I don't know. Oh, I didn't do a very good job of parking straight, did I? And that's why it's called American Truck Simulator and not American Parking Simulator. Don't know what else I'm supposed to do, really. Because it's not letting me... It's not recognizing it as a parking spot, so... I remember what I had to do before. I had to park somewhere else in another bay. And it would let me do it. Maybe because I can't park straight. I don't know. So we'll go around here. Oh, it's going to let me park all the way out here. Oh, that's a shit parking job, but it will do. Let's have a rest. I'm Simulator Dirk. We will have a rest now. You are getting some rest. 8 a.m. So, nobody around. Sunday, 8 a.m. Let's just bring you up to speed before we end the episode. It's Sunday, 8 a.m. We're not expected in Fort Simpson, Northwest Territories until sometime Saturday morning. Still have 148 hours before our window closes. Our next rest stop in 14 hours. And we have a lot of driving to do. I'm Simulator Dirk. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. We'll present to you a little bit of a slice of life, and then we'll see you next time. Simulator Dirk, thanks for watching. Bye for now.
There are those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
Can we stop for ice cream, Bart? Can we stop for ice cream? Oh, it's the Max! Ho 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 ho! The Portland Light Rail System, the Max, and that's what it actually looks like. How sweet! Into May, June, July, and now we're into August, so...
That was the longest night of my life.